Congratulations on box office.
Thank you so much.
How long has this been a dream in the back of your head where you wanted to create an album like this?
God, it's been like maybe like 10, 12 years. Like I've been writing music since I was really young. Like I used to make really bad raps, and I used to post them online. And have a secret Tumblr.
Oh yeah.
Nobody can get the link to that. But it's just always been kind of like my dream to be in music. I feel like whether or not I ever pursued anything else, it was always going to come back to this. So it was definitely like a milestone. Like I put so much effort into it and so much energy. What
was like a day in the life of you creating this album? How do you write? Do you write at night? Do you write in the studio? What are you, how are you making this?
God, you have no idea. Literally, I was on tour at the time, so it was like writing like on a plane. Sometimes I would write a complete song in the studio, like in like 20 minutes. Sometimes I was like hamming out maybe 5 or 6 songs in one day.
Damn.
I completed the album, and there was a lot of songs that did get cut off as well, but I completed the album in about 7 or 8 sessions. There were times where I was my only day in New York and I didn't sleep. I spent Christmas in the studio. Like, people have no idea how much work I really put into this album, which is why sort of like it is like such an accomplishment for me to have done it, but also like it just meant a lot to me when all the reviews came in and everything was so positive. I was like, thank God. It was like when did you see the Grammys? Did you see when Casey Musgraves won like the best album of the year? And she was like, what? That was me when the album came out, and I was like, what's happening? Like, people like it, people love it. Yeah. So this album was a lot. It was a lot of money. It was a lot of time. It was a lot of struggle, and it was such a creative process for me. Always having to dig deep in, get those good themes that I want, and then try to like find the fun wordplay, to find good metaphors, and find a way to deliver it, and then find the way to match it to the beat, have to correct the flow, sit there counting syllables nonstop. Like, it was like a math project, an English project, it was a science project, it was, damn, it's probably even a global project. It was a whole school project for me, honestly.
Yeah. What's like your favorite rhyme or like piece of wordplay that you squeezed in there? Because there's so many clever ones.
I have so many different ones, but I feel like I have to switch it up every time. The one I'm going to say today is actually from Kill Bill, track 15. And I start the second verse by saying, pull up in that cream whip like I've been ready on that mystery machine shit. Yeah, I've been Freddy. I ain't getting cheaper by the dozen. I'm doing donuts, they full of jelly. Now, cream whip, as in a cream colored car, but ready whip is also a whipped cream. Then you have like mystery machine with Freddy, like, you know, the good old gang, Scooby-Doo. I'm doing donuts, they full of jelly, like you do donuts in the car, like, you know, like when you swerve, but also they're full of jelly. Donuts are full of jelly. Donuts come in dozens, and jelly can also mean that, you know, people are jealous.
For you, does that just like flow? Like you're just writing, you're like, oh, this obviously has to be the next line. Or are you doing like math, like puzzle piecing together? How can I fit in this? Like,
I am a psycho. I think when I was just writing, I would just be like, okay, like, you know, sometimes I would try to like get the rhythm or the flow of how I would want to do it, and I'd be like, and I'll be like, and like it would just like come in, and I'd be like, okay, like I think that day I actually really wanted hot chocolate, and I left putting whipped cream in my hot chocolate, and I just kept thinking of Ready Whip, and I was like, Ready Whip, like, oh, you know, when you like get in the whip, like you're ready, but like it's whipped cream, so like, it's like a math, it's like a math problem. It's just there and be like, oh, okay, and I'm like, cheaper by the dozen, like the movie, oh yeah, but like also like if you do buy donuts by the dozen, they are cheaper, but like, like that's me, it's just crazy. Honestly, I can't even tell you. Also, when I wrote that track, it was really high. I smoked a blunt in the studio, and I was just there like, let me give it. Kill Bill was also not even supposed to be on the album. It was a track that I wrote because I was supposed to do this other track with this amazing Brazilian artist, but we weren't able to make it happen. And I was like, so I need to like find a way to do this. And I got to the studio. It was such a late notice, and I said, okay, what do I do? And then I got the beat and I said, Kill Bill, Kill Bill. Oh, yes. I actually sent it to my friend Shiloh, who's also on the album. He's on Jekyll Hyde. And I was like, what do you think would be a good chorus for this? Like, I'm just so stuck. And he sent me this chorus. Love you, Shiloh. I didn't like it. But I was like, wait. It was like a complicated chorus. I said, what if we just like said Kill Bill and chanted it? Because it's like revenge. It's like, you know, think about the samurais lining up. Like, think about like Uma Thurman. She moved in silence. Like, she just like came through and like, it was almost like you would always hear the sirens. The and I just thought like, you know, like Kill Bill. Kill Bill. It's like a calling. That's just kind of how that
Is box office because there's so many movie references and pop culture stuff?
Yeah, so there's so many reasons why it's called box office. I started writing it, and I'm in love with the media. I love visual things, and if you've seen any of my music videos, like I'm always like crazy about like artistically directing it, styling it, and I wanted to put that idea into an album. And when I started writing it, I was like, okay, this is going somewhere, but none of these songs like are cohesive because they're all so different. And then I said, no, wait, they are cohesive. This is about my life. This is my experiences. And then I started realizing these can be named after movies and TV shows and be named after like themes. And then I found a way to do that. And then I said, box office. Well, I also look at myself as not just a rapper. I'm also like into fashion. I love to model. Like I do, you know, I'm a certified talker. Like I'm a personality. So I wanted to like put all those things into like one thing. And I was like, well, I'm an entertainer. And what do you do when you have to go watch the entertainer? You have to go to the box office first and get a ticket. So it was my one way to invite people to get a ticket into my life.
Some of your Drag Race family has joined you on box office. How did those collabs come together? How did you pick who you wanted to have a feature?
Well, the way I look at it is I kind of just went by sound and theme and, again, another mathematical process. But like Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is track 4. Shea, Couleé, who is one of my favorite people in the whole world. I've known Shea Couleé even before we were either of us were on Drag Race. And I've always just been a very big admirer of her style. The fact that she just does her own thing. She owns it. And I feel like Shea is the epitome of Black excellence. She is someone who does not fit the stereotypes. She does not fit people's expectations of her, and she is her own person. And people are always trying to like discredit her. But I feel like they can't, because Shea is just that bad of a bitch. Like you can't discredit her. And you know, I really relate to her in a sense because I feel like I'm the opposite. Like I feel like I kind of do fit a lot of the stereotypes, and I feel like I am way more urban, and I grew up in a very urban environment. So like I just love the way she is, and I thought Breakfast at Tiffany's, when I started writing it, I was like, I need someone who's really like bougie, but like kind of bangy. And like I said, bougie, bangy, that's like Shea's slogan. And I said, you know what, Shea, you would sound great on this. And I sent her the beat, and she, like a professional, had it to me in like a day and was like, do you like this? And let me tell you, it made it the gayest track on my album, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. She just like put her flavor onto it, and like Shea Couleé is magic. So like I called it Breakfast at Tiffany's, one, because it was so cold, like the beat is very icy, and then Tiffany's, like Tiffany and Co. Breakfast at Tiffany's, the movie. I realized, you know, Audrey Hepburn, love her. There is not one black person in that entire movie. It's all about the success of like this like white woman and like this like luxury and glamour, and it is something that people don't acknowledge about people of color, especially back in the day. And that track is a testament to there's always been Black excellence, and there's always been people of color who are successful. And we're not going anywhere.
Okay, so another awesome Drag Race cameo that we got was Farrah Moan.
Love her.
Your Jekyll Hyde music video, which was such a great video. So many wonderful outfits, really interesting concept. Can you tell me about that?
Yes. So first of all, I love Farrah. Farrah is like one of my best friends. Like I I can FaceTime her and like she could be at the most raging hangover and she'll pick up and like, hello. She's just one of my favorite people in the entire world, and I really wanted her to be in my video. Like I just said, I don't care what it is. Let's dominate Shiloh in the video. And she said, let's do it. I was like, okay, I'm excited. The video, like, whenever I think about Jekyll Hyde, I think so much about duality. I think about the idea of like mental and emotional health. And in the video, like, we kind of like approach these ideas of like, you know, maybe not being so up there, which is something that I've gone through, that a lot of people go through. You know, it seems to be such a taboo thing back in the day to speak about, but, you know, 2019, I'm sure you could talk about if you have like anxiety or if you've had like, you know, a mental breakdown. Me, all the time. And in that video, I think it was just fun to really approach those types of things in such a fun manner. So I really wanted it to kind of like push the narrative of like, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy, I'm a good guy, I'm a bad guy. Like, which one are we? Like, you can't tell if either of us are good. At some point I'm a therapist and I'm getting Shiloh taken out of the room by like these big like guard men, and then I'm in a full body straitjacket by Couleé, where like literally like Vivienne Westwood, Tartan, Punk, Berlin, just listing my inspirations. And I'm feeling it, and then next thing you know, we're like, you know, Shiloh succumbing to his desires. Like, it's just like tackling like all these like ideas of mental health. A lot of us don't realize. Some of us are gluttons for pain. Some of us are always seeking healing. Some of us are impatient. I'm impatient. No, actually, I think I'm very patient. I lied. I'm a liar. I'm kidding. But it's like that sort of thing. I had a lot of fun doing that video. I actually flew in from Honolulu at because we missed our original flight. Landed at 5 a.m., was on set at 6 a.m. Did 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. I took a 3-hour nap, and then I went out for drinks. I don't know how I'm alive.